Welcome to halftime of Game 4. I'm Bud Shaw from cleveland.com.
Dave Campbell, sports manager from cleveland.com. We're here in the Balls of the Cube.
Dave is sitting in for Doug Maurice, who's in Columbus, writing about OSU tonight. I don't know what to say. I have watched NBA basketball for a long, long time. I've never seen a first half anything close to what we just saw. An NBA record 49 point, was it?
49 points in the first quarter.
You can go back there?
Finals record.
Finals record. We're talking an 86-68 score at the half. At one point, Dave, in this first half.
Kenny only comes here during losses.
At one point in this first half, we saw Richard Jefferson stoop down to say something to Steph Curry. We don't know what it was. I wonder, watching it, if it had anything to do with Steph Curry's little squatting act last night after Game 3 when Durant hit the shot. Whatever it was, this team came out and decided that they were not going to be embarrassed on their floor. And I guess the plan, we'll see. It's only 18 points for the Warriors. That's nothing. But the idea being that they don't want to see a celebration on this court.
Well, look at the guys who've been playing tonight and making a difference for the Cavs. Not only Jefferson, but there's been a Tristan Thompson sighting.
Yeah.
You got Dante Jones on the bench who's lipping off the people in drawing time. When have you ever seen that?
No, I've never seen that. I've never seen that in a finals game. I've never seen 86 points and a half. Scott Osler, who covers the Warriors out on the West Coast for a long, long time, tweeted something like, I went to an NBA Finals game and an All-Star game broke out. And
right.
that really is what it looked like. I don't know that I've seen such lackadaisical defense. The Cavs shot a ridiculous amount of free throws in that first quarter. I think it was over 20.
And they missed 8 of them.
And they did miss narrative.
Yeah.
Yep. One narrative that we may have to retire based on this first half is that LeBron doesn't have enough help. It certainly looked like he had enough help in this game. So I'd be interested in hearing what you guys have to say. It was an amazing first half. If it turns into a Cavs victory, it makes things just a little bit more interesting. I think obviously these Warriors are still sitting here in a very nice position to go back at home and still leading 3-1. But the fact is, if the Cavs can somehow steal a game there, then suddenly you start to put a seed of doubt into not only the Warriors' heads, who blew a 3-1 lead last year. Kevin Durant blew a 3-1 lead to the Warriors before that all happened. So I think that's kind of an interesting possibility. Again, not a great possibility, given that the Warriors obviously came out in this game thinking that the Cavs may have been making tea times yesterday.
I want to ask you about Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
So he was plus 12 in the first half, all right? And making a big difference, grabbing rebounds, way more. This is his best game of the finals by far. Is he playing harder, or is it just that the Warriors aren't playing hard enough to contain him as they did in the first 3 games?
I think in the first 3 games, I think they really made it a point they were calling it bracketing, right? Mm-hmm. When a shot went up, 2 guys made sure they were on either side of Tristan Thompson. And in game 1, they gave up 21 rebounds, I believe, to Kevin Love, in part because of that. But yeah, he has looked a lot more active. He's gotten more physical. We saw him in kind of a shoving match with Draymond Green at one point. That's the guy who was so instrumental against Boston and Toronto. And he's one of the reasons why unfortunately, I have to admit that I picked the Cavs to win the series in 7, because I didn't think that they would be able to deal with him on the boards. When they go small with their death lineup, they're more susceptible to being pounded on the glass, and that's what I thought would happen more than it did in the first 3 games.
And it happened in the first quarter tonight. That was the big difference. The Cavs stayed big and hurt them.
Yeah,
so want to go to some of the comments here? Anybody
Sure.
Keep an eye out?
Sure.
What do you think of the adjustments that the Cavs have made tonight? It seems like they're willing to let Draymond Green shoot from the outside, and if he's going to beat us, we'll let that happen. That seems to be their philosophy tonight.
Yeah, I don't think we're seeing it for the first time. I think they were trying to do that early in those other games. And Draymond sort of, I think, recognized it and almost passed up shots because of it. And I think we'll probably see him do a little bit more of that in the second half. The guy that I'm really surprised at, because I thought in the first 3 games he showed that he was a healthier player than he was last year, was Curry. Mm-hmm. Curry looked to me in this game like the guy that they were able to blitz and muscle and really make life difficult for last year.
We just had a comment that they want to see Coach Lou put in Channing Frye this half. I don't think you want to mess with something when it's going this well, when
No.
you're putting up these kind of numbers, record-setting numbers in the first half.
I think they feel right now that they're getting what Fry gives them, which is range on a three-point shot. I think they feel like they're getting that from JR now in this series. JR took one tonight that was probably a 38-foot three-pointer.
With the clock running out?
With the clock running out. Obviously, LeBron James has found his three-point shot. How many threes do they have in the first half? I thought they had 13.
13 of 22, 59%.
Yeah. I know people wanted them to slow down. And I even heard Mike Fratello on one of the news stations talking about what he thought would be the benefits of that. But this is the way the Cavs play. And they're a terrific three-point shooting team. I don't think that they ever felt comfortable that if they got into a half-court game with the Warriors, that they would be able to solve the Warriors' defense in the half-court on a consistent basis. And their own defense isn't good enough, I don't think, to hold the Warriors down. So this is the way they're going to have to play. They've given up 68 points in a half. I don't know. You tell me. Do you think this feels like a game that you could check off now and say Cavs are going to win this?
Oh, not at all. No.
It doesn't. Thank you. It doesn't feel that way to me either, and it's kind of remarkable when you think about it that a team could have a 49-point first quarter, have 86 at the half, be leading by 18, and yet you feel like, I don't know.
So the Cavs have really tried to push down this we need to play slower narrative, but I think I have noticed tonight, I want to see what you think of this, that they're going a little deeper into the shot clock. They're making the extra pass or two, and instead of shooting at 10, they're shooting 5, or they're really trying to get the best shot they can get out of each possession. You buy that?
I do buy that, and I'll give you that much. It's the idea of slowing it down doesn't mean you have to walk it up the floor. It just means that you don't take bad shots early in the shot clock. And they've done a really good job, I think, of making the extra pass in this first half. And they're getting minutes out of guys that I thought after only a day off in between games, I thought guys like Richard Jefferson might be a little bit cooked. I didn't think they'd be able to get what they've got out of him in this game so far. He's played 12 minutes. What's he got here? 6 points, not bad. They brought in Darren Williams, who hasn't really done anything, but hey, at least he didn't shoot.
So LeBron got about 3.5 minutes of rest, I think, in the first half.
Yep.
Can you, in the second half, if you're Ty Lue, do you go in and you say, all right, we're going to rest LeBron as much as we can afford to, or do you try and stick with the same 3-4 minutes in between the third and the fourth and kind of see, or do you, I don't know, what do you do?
It's such desperate measures right now, I don't think you can take a chance on putting him on the bench and have suddenly these guys go on a 9-1 tear, because now you're into a single-digit game going into the fourth quarter. And they got 2 more days off after this game before they would play a Game 5 in Oakland on Monday. I think they have to ride it out with him in this game.
And he'd want it that way, too?
I'm sure he would want it that way. They really came out and looked to punch these guys in the mouth, and it felt like they did it for the first time. Now, why that was, desperate times call for desperate measures. I'll just chalk it up to that.
Well, let's be honest, when 3-point shots that you've been missing in the first 3 games start going down, life's a lot easier.
Yeah,
so.
and like I say, they did a great job, I think, of not letting Klay Thompson get really loose early like he did against them in Game 3. I also think that the way they defensed Curry was a big part of that. I mean, I think he had 2 points in the first quarter, and it was only because he got 2 free throws late in that quarter. So we're looking at Kevin Love, 5 for 10 for 17 points. James is 7 for 11. Kyrie is 11 for 14. So LeBron James and Kyrie Irving right now are 18 for 25 from the field. I mean, you're not going to beat this team doing that or allowing that to happen. Irving has 28 at the half. LeBron 22. It's pretty amazing. And when you look at the Warriors real quick, Durant is 6 for 9 for 22. Curry only has 6 points.
Got it?
Yep.
All right, what do you guys think is going to happen in the second half? We got a few more minutes here before things get going again. Bud, the Kevin Durant problem in the second half has been recurring for the Cavs here. Richard Jefferson has been doing a very good job tonight, I think, staying in front of him. And they've switched off him a few times, but would you keep Jefferson on him when he's on the floor? Do you play LeBron on him in the second half to keep this lead, or would you let LeBron guard somebody else?
I don't think you can ask a whole lot more out of Richard Jefferson in this game. So I think, again, who's that? Jason says, don't let Durant get easy shots. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
It's key.
Listen, he made another one of those circus shots where he gets fouled and throws one in. I mean, he's the guy that I think they really have to worry about in the second half. I think they've established defense on these other guys, and they just got to make sure. This team has come out, other than Game 3 where the Cavs held their own, the Warriors have come out and really blitzed them at the beginning of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think this one is so critical because if they come out and they get it down to single digits in the first 6-7 minutes of the quarter, it's coming, too.
You know it's coming.
Let's see. I'm trying to read this. Is that my lucky shirt? Yeah, well, because I wear it every time? No. I only have 3 of them. I have to repeat
Steve
it somewhere
Kerr
along the way.
was asked after the first quarter what he wanted to see from his team, and it's so funny hearing him. He always says, we got to start playing defense, we got to play harder, we got to get our head out of our butts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's just a matter of effort for the Warriors in the first half here? Is that what you're not seeing?
Yeah, I just think that it's just human nature. You feel like it's been so long since you've lost a game. I mean, imagine the stat, Dave. They have won 30 of 31 games. They went 15-1 to close the season, then won their first 15 games of the postseason. So I think they just got to the point where, they felt like maybe the Cavs were going to come out kind of defeated after losing in such a demoralizing way the other night. And clearly, whatever message was sent in the locker room for the Cavs was a pretty strong one. And I think Kerr will be the first one to say that the Warriors didn't come close to matching their energy.
All right, looks like HL is saying that Kyrie's already breathing heavy and fatigue will wear him. Now, this is another storyline that they've been asking the players and coaches about the Cavs getting too fatigued, too many minutes. You feeling that tonight, or what do you think is going to happen down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean,
here?
I didn't really sense that in Game 3 until the last 2 minutes of the game. And I think Durant was quick to say that he didn't really see those guys, overly fatigued. But, yeah, I mean, Kyrie has really exhausted himself in the first half. He's a guy that I wouldn't mind sitting out for a little while, in the second half. I just don't think you can do that with LeBron because you really are going to need his defense on Durant.
A lot of talk about the officiating tonight, too. Not the best night for the NBA Finals with the officiating, especially the backcourt on Kyrie when he basically dribbled through his legs and put it in his backcourt on his own. I think it's been fairly called game, maybe not a well-called game, but it's been fairly called to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unusual amount of fouls. On the Warriors had, I think, 10 personal fouls in the first quarter. Cavs shot 20 times at the line. You don't see that very often in NBA Finals games, but I don't know about you. When I was watching it, I felt like the Cavs were taking the action to them almost the whole time. So it didn't feel to me like the refs were sitting there trying to even things up to extend the series, and I know that's usually the conspiracy theory that everybody has. So
they want Game 5 for the ratings. That theory's already out there. We've heard that already. So any predictions from people in the comments for the second half? Cavs going to end up with a win here or not? What your thoughts are?
Well, the Cavs score 170.
There's your all-star game.
There you go.
So you think the Cavs hold on here?
I do think they hold on to this game. I really thought that they were going to win Game 3. I thought it before the game started. I certainly thought it with 3 or 4 minutes to go in that game. So it doesn't surprise me that they're going to take one from the Warriors here, and I wouldn't get crazy here like JR and the tweet, right? I'm not stupid enough to say, I'm not dumb enough to say that they're going to go out and we're going to win this series now. But I think they do go back to Oakland and see what happens out there.
All right, C. Shetler says the Cavs seem calmer this game. William got talent. I think the Warriors will blow a 3-1 lead.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if they blow a 3-1 lead with Kevin Durant and 2 more games at home again, it'll make last year look like child's play. This will be the greatest accomplishment in the history of sports.
All right, second half starting. Enjoy it. Thanks, bud.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
for having me on.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.